Is Brock Lesnar returning for the Royal Rumble? Plus, we have an update on Seth Rollins following his injury on Raw, and an absent AEW star could be returning this week. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now. Are you ready to Brock?
In the words of Brock, let's do this. Remember that promo from back in the day?
Oh gosh, yeah. I like the time when he screamed like a goat. That was fun.
All right.
He has a really weird scream at one point. I think it was during the Cody story last year.
I was trying to think, when did he go?
Anyway. You know the one I mean. Anyway, goat screams aside, Dave Meltzer reporting in the Wrestling Observer update that Brock Lesnar will be back on WWE television anytime soon. Very soon, to be almost exact. He elaborated on this comment on Wrestling Observer Radio this morning.
I wish he didn't elaborate, but he has done, because he elaborated by not elaborating at all. Anyway, here's what he said. I would think that this would not be the week to have Brock Lesnar return, given that this might be one of the lower rated shows, considering they were against football games and the Emmy Awards. So, if he's going to return for the Rumble, next week would be the week. If he's going to return shortly after, then it could be a couple of weeks later, but he's going to be back. I would presume he's in the Rumble, and I would presume that whatever angle he's going to do will be shot in the Rumble itself.
Glad we cleared that up.
So, it would have been nice if we just stopped saying Brock Lesnar will be back very soon. Nice. It's going to happen very soon.
Very soon.
But it could be next week. It could be soon after. It could be in the Rumble itself. Why elaborate, Dave? Just say you don't know.
Either way, Brock Lesnar being added to the mix for not just the Royal Rumble, but going forward for WrestleMania is an interesting one. There is certainly a few people that could benefit from a rub or maybe a slap.
Oh, it's just the noise I want to hear. Ricocheting off Brock's swordy, cocky thing on his tits.
Brock Lesnar ricochet?
Yeah. No. That noise. Gunther chopping him right in the swordy cock.
That seems like a dream match to happen, because Brock's never won the IC title, so you can always play it like that.
Just imagine though, if Gunther beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. What a massage that'll send out to the universe.
It would certainly massage his cock if Lesnar were to lose to Gunther. Gunther's declared for the Rumble. We know he's in the Rumble. What if Gunther eliminates Lesnar from the Rumble? We're just fantasy booking at this point.
It makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? And Brock's like, let's do this at WrestleMania once again. Running back to that promo from back in the day. Do it.
Well, in terms of what Brock Lesnar could be doing, the ballpark is very much open. However, some concern around the World Heavyweight Champion. Seth Rollins, as we talked about in our first news video this morning, suffered an injury during his match with Jinder Mahal to his leg that meant that he was helped to the back and limping very obviously backstage as well. We've had somewhat of an update from Dave Meltzer.
I was just grimacing there because I've just read the quote. Dave said, and I quote, "It could be something minor, it could be something worse."
He also went, now he did also say that today Seth Rollins is getting an MRI done to determine what this is. So had this been an injury that might have just been a ding, it could have been something that he would have walked off the following day, but the fact that they're getting an MRI done today suggests that there's probably some concern about how bad this might be.
Could be precautionary, could be something worse.
Could be worse.
Yes. But PW and Torch have indeed added more to this. They say multiple sources describe Seth as neither overly pessimistic nor optimistic about the severity of the injury. He was also said to be bummed, but also had a pretty positive attitude considering the situation.
Yes.
Sorry for the pregnant pause there.
If Seth misses extended ring time, this is dramatically going to change WrestleMania. Obviously, he's on course to fight CM Punk. That would mix things up a lot. I guess Brock Lesnar being around might fill a gap potentially. If this was the days of old, Ross, my concern would be that Brock Lesnar would be about to become the World Heavyweight Champion.
Give it to Jinder. Jinder versus CM Punk at WrestleMania. If Rollins can't be there. Oh. says somebody somewhere. I'm joking, of course.
And the crowd goes mild. Big love to Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
Now, it turned out the whole Raw roster had a bit of a chew on getting to Raw last night in Little Rock because the weather's been so bad. You know, we've got snow falling outside the window here, so it's hitting the UK shores as we write this and as we say these words out of our mouths. But it's been bad in the States leading up to Raw last night.
Yeah, DIY had an absolute nightmare getting to what Michael Cole kept calling a frigid Little Rock, Arkansas. You know, frigid. It won't have intercourse with me. Sunday, this is how DIY spent their weekend. 4:40 p.m. they left Orlando, Florida. 7:30 p.m. they arrived at Dallas, Texas. 9:30 p.m. they were supposed to take off to Little Rock, but a de-icing terminal is frozen.
Well, that's fine because you can just use it like the back of a CD.
Get a bag of warm water and just go like that across the town.
Don't use warm water on a car.
No, don't pour it on. Get a bag and fill it with water. You don't seen it on the old tickety-tock?
I stand corrected.
You don't want to crack the tarmac.
No.
What else happened? 11 p.m. they get back on the plane because we're going to take off. Then 11:45 p.m. the crew timed out. So now our flight is cancelled.
They move into Monday where at midnight they're waiting in line. Our Johnny Gargano, our Tommaso Ciampa and Candice LeRae. I think Indy Hartwell was with them as well. They're all waiting in line to get their plane tickets reissued while calling various hotels. But because it's after midnight, you can't book online, so you've got to ring all these places. 1:15 in the morning, tickets are sorted for an 8:19 flight a few hours later. They get to a hotel in Dallas for 1:45. They wake up at 6:45 to find out the flight is delayed until 10 a.m. They get a 30-minute workout in. That's it. Got to get the reps in at 7:45. At 9 a.m. they go back to the Dallas airport to find out their new flight is now cancelled. They drive 5 hours at 10:30 to Little Rock, Arkansas, and they get there at 4:15 in the afternoon. And then they go on a few hours later to win against Dom and JD.
And a good match it was as well. It was a breathless affair. DIY didn't stop moving the entire time. The crowd got louder and louder as the match went because they were doing all of the flips and whatnot. So the fact they did that with all of that happening over the past 24 hours before the show, I guess. Wow.
And Candice and Indy also beat Piper and Chelsea as well. So it was a good night all round for the extended DIY/The Way contingent after a hellacious bit of travel that they went through.
Yeah, just imagine when the metaverse is the thing and we're all sat in our pods in the future. Don't have to travel anywhere. Just put your headset on and you're wrestling on Monday Night Raw.
It's gonna be like
great future ahead of us.
It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like Wall-E, isn't it? in the big spaceship run by and large. That's gonna be my future, and I for one can't wait. There were nobody in their pods in Las Vegas over the weekend. TNA Snake Eyes TV taping that took place in Vegas after Hard to Kill, according to PW Insider, is TNA's best live TV gate in the history of the company.
Dare I say, wrestling might be popping off, as the kids like to say.
One would hope. So I'm delighted for my colleagues at TNA Wrestling who had an amazing night out at Hard to Kill, and the tapings as well after Vegas look great. Like Vegas looked great as well. This is a really exciting time for them, and the fact that so many came out to see them, it's a great sign for a good year ahead for TNA.
Yeah, it looked great, the fact that the arena was full. I know TNA have been running smaller venues for a while now, but that seemed like a step up, and it was still full.
Really nice stage setup as well. I don't think I've talked about this enough.
The Royal Box with Bayley and Sasha Banks in there. Sorry, Mercedes Money.
Enjoyed that as well. They had the big Tron screen and then a walkway eerily similar to the 1998 Royal Rumble. And as a fan of a certain vintage, that tickled my pickle. Meanwhile, we thought we were going to say farewell to Trinity Fatu at the tapings over the weekend. She had a rematch against Jordan Grace, and she was saying farewell to the fans, but then got jumped by Giselle Shaw and her gang, and consequently I don't think she's done quite yet. And Wrestling Observer and PW Insider both agree.
Yeah, they're both saying that Trinity Fatu is expected to finish up with TNA this weekend in Orlando, Florida, and from there, of course, she will return to the WWE.
So it was a short but passionate affair that Trinity had with Impact/TNA Wrestling. I enjoyed it, did you?
Yeah, I mean, from the get-go, just from what I've seen, I've not seen everything she's done since being a part of TNA, but one thing that is beyond any shadow of any doubt is that they presented her properly, and she fulfilled that role they presented her with. That makes any sense in the world.
Yes, they did. There was and on we go. no doubt see her at the Rumble by all accounts. Let's head over to AEW. I didn't mention, I didn't remind you this morning. It was my fault. I didn't remind you to not tweet at Real Jeff Jarrett. You should call your new gang total non-stop arseholes. Forgot to mention it, and then flipping Conrad Thompson on the My World podcast says, oh, you should call your gang total non-stop arseholes, like Tom said. And Jeff looked really cross with me on My World this week. So please don't tweet at Real Jeff Jarrett. You should call your gang total non-stop arseholes, because he was seething.
And if Satnam Singh's mum is watching, hello, Mrs. Singh, could you send some food over here? Because it looked lovely all over Jay Lethal's face.
She's a lovely cook.
Yeah.
Fabulous cook, Mama Singh. Send us some food. Yeah, there you go. Tell non-stop arseholes, send us some food, please. But on AEW, there's some good news for one of our own.
Yeah, PW Insider reporting that Pac could be back as soon as this week. This leads off the back of yesterday's news videos we did out here on the channel, speaking about Pac just making a return to wrestling in general, going back stateside after a period away. I think it was last July, his last televised appearance on AEW, so he could be back as soon as this week, and I bloody well hope he is, you bloody lad. I'll bet your face off because I'm the honey badger.
I forgot he was the honey badger. Would you get him on your other leg?
That's a reference to me tattoos, which you can't see. Patreon.com/Cultaholic.
If you know where to look, you can see Ross's tats. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day. It's been a silly one, hasn't it?
It's always silly, isn't it, Tom?
I think because it's cold in here.
It's bloody freezing.
Yes. Only I'd worn trousers. We'll have more throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe.
Honey badger. I don't know what that was. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's end the video there. Sorry, Joel. Tom, you're Tom. Joel's editing.
I think we'll apologise to Joel as well.
If you want Joel's phone number, give me a call.
His phone number is 087.